Hello, my beautiful people. What's up? And welcome. Um, Today I'm not doing Atheist Church. Um, Instead, I'm going to do another video review. This one is from the 1980s Satanic Panic, particularly in America. There were other countries that had a satanic panic, but not as pervasive as America. And the satanic panic was actually a group of moral panics. Um, it wasn't just one panic, it was a group. Um, and I have done a series on the 1980s satanic panic on my channel. So just Google, or sorry, just type in Satanic Panic into the search bar on my channel and you will find that series. Um, the reason I'm doing this is because I saw a long time ago that we were headed in this direction. I don't know how. I don't claim to be psychic. I mean, I don't believe in that shit. But anyway, um, but I saw the writing on the wall, right? Um, and it's no longer a prediction. It is coming true. And I do make fun of the 1980s Satanic Panic, but it's not. Hey, Wist. Um, it's not a laughing matter because this kind of stuff gets real people in big trouble for nothing at all. Case in point, the McMartin preschool trial. If you don't know what that is, please look it up. Um, it was horrible. People lost a good chunk of their lives put in a prison for a lie, for a flat out lie. Uh, anyway, I'm sure my fellow Americans are going to be on my side, at least most of them, in saying that the people in power need to go. Now, I usually don't get political on this channel, but it is the people in power that are creating this monster. So, anyway, let's watch about the 1980s Satanic Panic. It did go on into the 90s, and then it just, dropped off. Um, Luckily, the police don't take it all that seriously yet. Um, and they probably won't because I think they learned their lesson in the 1980s. But we will see. Um, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Come on. Alrighty. Let me make sure you can see it. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear it. Okay. Hey, Zebra, what's up? All right. And here we go. By the way, this is from Demon Occult cassette tapes. Um, they upload this old stuff because it's important to shed light on this shit. All right, moving on.
For many in the United States and Canada, it's much more convenient. It feels better to deny that Satanism is rampant in America and Canada. It feels better to deny that we have.
No, it does not feel better to deny that Satanism is rapid, is widespread in America and Canada. Okay? That's called the truth. If you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. Uh, yeah, Wist, that actually did happen. Um, I, oh God, I can't remember. Um, there are quote unquote satanic groups that will do that kind of nonsense, but they're the outliers. Organized Satanism does nothing of that. You know, Algarod, something like that. Um, but yeah. Oh, he was a dealer, okay, and he thought that Satan would help him if he made sacrifices. He thought Satan would help him hide his dealing business from the authorities if he made sacrifices. At least that's what he said. Not sure I buy that. But anyway, yeah. All right, moving on.
Young people by the millions now captivated in something that can make killers out of them. And yet, my friend, right now, there are over 12.
I suppose the 1980s was, and I don't know how true this is, but the 1980s has been labeled the deadliest decade in America. Probably because all of the S killers out there, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, there were a lot of S killers running around at that time. I'm not gonna mention any of them because they don't deserve to be mentioned, but, um, yeah. Oh, that guy you were talking about with, he adopted the name Pazuzu, I believe. Alright, moving on.
12 million teenagers and younger children who are now involved in the occult in one way or another. And denying it isn't going to make any difference. See, whether you believe in occultism, whether you believe that Satan has power, whether you believe that Satan can give you the things that he's promised to these kids, that's immaterial, my friend, because they believe it.
You know, if you had just if Christians had just left this alone, it just would have passed like every other phase. But no, the Christians had to make a damn production of it. Um, just like today, Christians are making a damn production about just about everything, not just religion, which, by the way, they say Christians are being persecuted. No, Christians are not being persecuted. Okay? Not in America. Christians are the most privileged people in America. Hey, Limited, stop your fucking whining and get over it. Of course, there's a saying that says when a privileged group finally has equal rights, it feels like oppression to them or something along those lines. So anyway, moving on.
How in the world does a young man in the prime of his teen years go from being an A student, a football player, holding down a 40-hour a week job, plus, I mean, not a dropout because he only missed a half a day, unexcused absence the whole last year of his high school career? How does that young man become a satanic murderer? To the place.
Okay, this sounds sus already because he's a high school student, which means he's going to school full time, right? They say he's a football player, which means he has practice and then, of course, ball games. And they're saying he holds down a 40-hour a week job. That just sounds sus to me. All right, moving on.
Where, without any remorse, he walks into a convenience store and a cold-blooded murder guns down an innocent man. And then, 2 months later, after doing a satanic ritual, he walks into his own parents' bedroom and kills them and laughs at
Oh, I don't know. Have you ever heard of, drugs? You know, has it ever dawned on these people that that's what's happening? That it has nothing to do with quote unquote Satan? That quote unquote Satan is just a scapegoat? Has it ever dawned on these people? Probably not. That's a possibility too, Wist. That's that's also a possibility because even with helmets, there is what's called CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is mostly seen in football players because they get so many concussions. So it could have been that too. Also, yeah, steroids were a big thing back in the 80s. So, yeah, it could be either one, or it could be none. Anyway, moving on.
How does that young man go from that A student football player to a satanic killer? And more importantly, could it be happening right now to the kid next door?
Short answer, no, because Satan doesn't do the realsies. Okay? That's the short answer.
Maybe somebody even in your own family. Let me just say this: Satanism and the occult and what it's doing and will do to our children will not go away. It will not go away. It is not a fad, my friend. And if we continue to deny it, out of sight, out of mind, oh no, no, pretend it doesn't exist, next door, on your newscasts, in your newspapers.
Wow. He just hit the nail on the head. Not with this Satanism nonsense, but with what's happening today in America. And I'm not going to get into that. Like I said, this isn't a political channel. Oh, there you go. All right. Uh, seriously. Yeah. All right. Moving on.
Because unless we do something about it, it's not only here to stay, but here to get worse. And the biggest tool that Satan has in his arsenal is the ignorance of people like you and me. So I challenge you to hear.
No, I'd say the biggest uh, obstacle, I guess you could say, because Satan don't the real bros. How many times I gotta say it? Um, no, the real tragedy is that we're here where we are today in this country because of people like you. So go fuck yourself.
Heed what you're going to see and hear in this video. We went to Oklahoma State Prison to interview Sean Sellers, that young man that Satan turned into a killer. You're going to hear firsthand how it happened.
Oh, boo-hoo. We've got somebody who doesn't want to take responsibility for their own actions, and so they blame a an invisible boogeyman that doesn't exist. What a bunch of shit. What a bunch of shit. Oh, limited. I was telling the Christians to stop whining because they love to whine. Boy, do they ever love to whine.
You're going to hear some warnings and see some warnings about some things that you better think about, including music, including movies, including children's cartoons, including games like Dungeons and Dragons. But you're also going to hear, and this is the best part,
Yeah, I don't know whether you know this dude. Gygax, who designed Dungeons and Dragons, was a Christian. Hey, Josephine. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole, Josephine. All right, moving on.
though Satan said to Sean Sellers, there's no way out. You're going to find out there is. And I'm going to say to every young person that's watching this, every adult that's watching this, there is a way out. And the man, Christ Jesus, who God himself created Satan, is more powerful.
Yeah, there is a way out. You know what that way is? It's learning that all of this is a bunch of nonsense made up by Christians who want people to be scared shitless. Well, guess what? I used to be a Christian and I used to be scared shitless, but I ain't scared shitless anymore. That's how you people keep people in your fucking religion is to scare them shitless. And I am not scared anymore. And I'm calling you out on it. Moving on.
Sean Sellers tried on 4 different occasions to get out of Satanism. The reason he couldn't is that there was no one there to help him. My young friend, my adult friend, we're here to help you. There are others.
So I got a question. How many people really believe that he was practicing Satanism? I'll bet you anything this is an ad hoc rationalization for his bad behavior because he does not want to take responsibility for his own actions. That's what this is all about. People don't like taking responsibility for their own actions. So they're going to look for any kind of a scapegoat they can. And Christian Satan fits the bill perfectly. Well, you know what? I do take responsibility for my own actions because there's no one to blame my actions on but me. If I act in a certain way, I'm the one that acted in that certain way. And there is nobody to blame but me. Oh, sorry about that, Limited. Hey, Josephine, you still here? Great. Yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. All right, moving on.
Who can help you. Heed what you're going to see. Do not deny it, for that's only going to fan the fire. But together, with the one power that can defeat Satan, we can win this.
Oh, I'm not going to deny it. I'm going to laugh my fucking off about it because this is just plain ridiculous. Not that he unalived people. That's not ridiculous. And that's not what I'm laughing my fucking ass off about. I'm laughing my fucking ass off about it because you people think this shit is real. And I'm here to tell you it ain't. Again, go fuck yourself.
This victory for our young people in America, escaping Satan's web. Sean, Satanism is real. You found out the hard way. How widespread of a problem is there really? We're seeing Joe Geraldo and what have you. How widespread do you feel Satanism is in America?
And that's a lot of it. During the Satanic Panic, people wanted their 5 minutes of fame. And so they decided they were going to be quote unquote specialists in Satanism, or they were going to be quote unquote specialists in repressed memories, which, by the way, do not exist, or they were going to pretend to be Satanists who got set free by the blood of Jesus. It was all for their 5 minutes of fame. Disgusting.
10 years ago, police and church pretty much didn't even acknowledge Satanism as being a reality in America. Maybe in Africa, maybe, in some other countries.
Yeah, they didn't recognize it as being a problem, bruh, because it was not and is not and never will be a problem because Satan don't do the realsies.
Where there was no civilization or something, but not in Grand Old America. Over the past 5 years, the church.
That was an uncalled for comment that Africa doesn't have civilization. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you on about? Africa certainly does have civilization. In fact, we came from Africa. Africa has had one of the greatest civilizations ever in the history of humanity. It was called the Egyptian Empire. So what the fuck are you on about?
And the police force have been forced to recognize the existence of Satanism and search out answers for dealing with it. In every school, you've got kids who are interested in the occult. They are either maybe
Yeah, I would say there are kids interested in the occult. And you know why? Because kids rebel. That's what kids do. And the best way to rebel against the oppressive regime of Christianity in this country is to go to the occult. That does not mean that the occult turns people into this kind of shit. Oh, yeah, limited. I love that. I love that clip. That was a funny clip. I still get a kick out of it every time I see it.
just dabbling with music and stuff, like heavy metal music, speed metal and stuff, or they are into a lot of movies, Freddy Krueger and Jason and all these other horror movies, and then
So, are you blaming your actions on rock music and horror films? Or are you blaming your actions on Satan? Two pretty different reasons, my friend. Not even reasons, excuses. Two different excuses. Two different excuses. Wonder what's gonna be his next excuse, you know? I don't know. How many excuses do you think he's gonna have in this? Any excuse, as long as he doesn't have to take responsibility for his actions. You know what, Sean? This guy's name's Sean Sellers. You know what, Sean? Man up and own your actions. Nobody, excuse me, nobody is responsible for your actions but you. I'll repeat that. Nobody is responsible for your actions but you. And I think that's going to be it for today. I'm kind of getting worked up, and, obviously, um, I think I finally have my anxiety under control with the doctor's help. Um, and, you know, I'm not going to upset that balance. Oh, I'm sure it does, Josephine. I'm sure it does. They just love hearing about, well, now I'm a Christian. Whatever. Whatever, dude. All right. So, if you would, please, yeah, sure. Limited. Just, you got my email. I'm back on Twitter. Um, just because I wanted to have a way to um, communicate with the people who are ruining our country. And that's the only way I can communicate with them. So I'm back on Twitter, or you can reach me at my email address, link in the description. Sure, absolutely. All right, folks, don't forget to like. It really helps the algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. Yada, yada, yada. If you can afford to, please become a member. You can become a member for as low as 99 cents a month. Um, you get custom emojis and debunks early. Remember, I have changed my upload schedule to Thursdays. So I'm not doing a debunk this week. I'm doing an educational video. Um, so, anyway, yeah. So, you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.